In our previous lesson, we had a look at dramatic movement and we went ahead and we created a movement piece as a class. But today we are going to start preparing for our term 4 assessment. Because as you know, number 1, term 4 is really short. Okay? Number 2, that means we don't have many drama lessons because they're only once every 2 weeks. So you will have today's lesson and you will have one lesson next term to prepare, and then I will be assessing you. Okay, so the reason we looked at dramatic movement in our previous lesson is because our assessment is on dramatic movement, right? What we're going to be looking at today is, number 1, we're going to break up into groups. You are going to create your own dramatic movement piece with your own theme. So you as a group are going to decide on your own theme. You're not going to use the same one we used. You're not going to use any of my examples that we used. I gave you the example shadows, emotions, mixed emotions, right? And then we did that self-inflicted harm. Do you remember that? Okay? So you won't be able to use any of those themes, but you as a group will come up with your own particular theme, the message you want to send. You've got to agree on it, obviously. Right? In terms of music, we have decided that every single group will use the same piece of music to make it fair. Also, every single class will use the same music to make it fair. And we will be using the exact same song because we've all worked with it before. So it's not new, it's not scary, it's something you've dealt with before. Right. So, today we're going to have a look at using movement words first. Right? So I'm going to put 3 on the board. And okay, as you can see, I've got zigzag, I've got jab, and I've got crawl. These are 3 movement words because they tell you a certain type of movement to use. Okay? When I say zigzag, what could I mean in terms of movement, Zoe? Okay, you could zigzag. Okay, create the pattern, because as you know, zigzag kind of looks like, well, actually looks like this. Right? So you could make that pattern using your feet or your hands. You could stand in a zigzag formation. You don't have to use it in the most obvious way. Right? Take the word and try to think how you could use it. You could use your arms. Thank you for that, Sayuri. Right? You could use your arms, create a zigzag with each other. Okay? Right? Let's look at jab. Jab is the name of a type of punch. Right? It's your forward punch. Okay? But now I'm saying jab. And I'm saying punch. But I'm not saying you have to use it as a punch. So a jab is a forward motion with your hand. So much like this could be considered a jab. Using your foot and pushing your foot forward could be considered a jab. So could propelling your entire body forward. Okay? You look at how we're interpreting it. We're not using it in the most obvious way. Crawl. Okay? Yep. Like a baby crawls, but you could crawl up. Okay? Sideways. Or you could use it where one person is on the floor and the next person is slightly higher and higher and higher and higher for your formation. Right. Okay? You with me? So, when I give you, and every single one of you will receive your own word, when I give you your word, you're going to look at it. Obviously, if you don't understand it, you're going to ask me, Ms. Hayden, what does it mean? And you're going to look at the types of movement you could do with it. Nice and easy?
Yes.
From there, we will break up into groups. After we've broken up into groups, you will discuss your theme. From your theme, you will share your movement. So the movement is an individual thing. You're going to take it to your group and say, hey, this is my movement and this is how I think we can use it. Okay? But that means everyone as a group has to do all the movements, just like we did in class, right? It doesn't just disappear and we stand there and the next person is jabbing, and we stand there and the next person is zigzagging. No. Okay, you've got to make it flow and work together, right? And then once you've got that, you're actually going to physically start putting together your dramatic movement piece. Remember, I said we're aiming between 1 minute and 2 minutes long. So what I'll do is towards the end of the lesson, I will play the music, give you an indication of how far you've come. Okay, nice and easy?
Yes.
Let's get going.